Hey everybody, it's time to market like a nerd. And yo, let me tell you what's up today. Visually appealing Facebook ads. Wait, what? Stop the scroll and get some eyeballs. That's coming up next.
I know, I'm always so pumped up.
I think they did amazing with that. Thank you, audio videographer team. You guys did awesome. So, Jody, hello.
Hello.
It is time today to talk about this visually appealing Facebook ads. Actually, this is a good topic to go over because we kind of dived into it a little bit. Was it Monday? I can't remember. Or last week. I think it was last week.
Yeah, last week when we were talking about our 5 key metrics that we really pay attention to with the ads in the funnel. And a lot of those metrics, when they're not performing to our expectations, have a lot to do with your creatives and
that's right,
the ability to stop the scroll and get people to actually engage and click. So yeah,
I think this is cool. Do I have some good questions for you? Because so it really comes down to this. Like we have today, it's stopping the scroll, right? So I want to talk about that because I have heard so many different approaches to this. So let's just start with, what do you recommend that can easily be done so that people can stop in the scroll in their post feeds and see your ad or see your post, whatever it is that you're posting?
Yeah. So 2 really easy things to do in your ads to get people's attention is use visually stunning, like visual creatives. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is not necessarily, listen, it doesn't have to be elaborate. What we've noticed just by testing is that people are paying more attention when the post looks more organic, like when the image looks more organic. You remember how, I mean, forever, the best performing ads were like an image and then a text on the side with like a fake button. That's, that was like forever the thing. Almost the background of this Facebook Live, you guys, like it almost had like a diagonal thing. It was just something that we were using on repeat over and over and over again. And it was working well in almost every account. What's working well right now is selfies and organic photos that aren't tampered with or messed with and no text. Maybe you could even turn it into a GIF with a little bit of movement on there. But those are images that are really stopping the scroll for a lot of our clients right now in their Facebook ads. Second thing that you can do really easily is a call out at the top of the text. So, when you're scrolling Facebook and you see a Facebook ad, you only see like the first 3 lines. Okay.
Yes, right.
Yes, that visual, the actual ad image or video is going to be kind of the first thing that really captures our attention. But next, we have to have a really compelling text at the very top. And I've seen various things work with different clients, so it's all worth testing. But calling out your ideal customer or, asking a yes question in that first 3 lines, like wouldn't it be great if we could XYZ? And the logical answer is yes. Like, ask a yes question. I know when you did a copywriting Facebook Live with Manuel, he talked about yes questions.
That's right.
Email copy too. And then that leads into a story. You can frame your Facebook ad just like that. And like I said, the image gets them to kind of stop the scroll. And that first 3 lines of text really is what's going to engage your audience and get them to actually read.
Because the eye usually will go and stop at that image or that short video, and then immediately we're trained to look up, like what's this about.
Mhm.
So definitely take advantage of that. And you all know what we're talking about. When you click, there's a above that image that says more. If you click more, you'll have whatever else is there on the post. So make those two, I think is about 2 lines or 3 lines usually, right? Make that count. That is excellent. But I want to come back to what you just said about text on images. I do remember hearing a lot about you shouldn't put too much text or you should put some text. So what you say is not working at all? Like what's
I'm
going on
not
with
saying
that?
it's not working at all. I'm saying what we're seeing work the best across most accounts is images with no text.
Really, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are those things, right? Those waves of what's hip.
Yes, and I think it has a lot to do with who your ideal audience is. We've had
Right.
clients who are like marketing more towards a consumer rather than another business. And when you're doing the B2C, it is a lot easier to get people to opt in, but harder to
Mhm.
get them to actually like purchase something. The same
Sure.
thing goes for on the Facebook ads. It's easy to get them to stop the scroll, but it's hard to compel them to actually click, right? Like it's,
Right.
those people they're on Facebook a lot and they're seeing a lot of images, a lot of, friends posts and stuff in their feed. And if there's a delicate balance between like kind of blending in with that organic posting that's naturally showing up in their feed and
Right.
standing out. So an easy way though, Eddie, to stand out with a selfie would be to put a filter over it that makes it super bright or like something unexpected. So
Okay.
no text, just a selfie with a filter that's kind of unexpected.
So, filter, I know what you're talking about. Just to make sure you all are understanding, if you're watching us, thank you very much, by the way, if you're watching us live or the recording, or maybe you're listening to us. But what you're talking about is like the Instagram. When you go to Instagram, there's a bunch of filters before you
Mhm.
post your image, right? That's what you're talking about.
Mhm.
So I know there's different apps. We're not going to go over what apps to use, but you'll find one that fits you and use those filters. Now,
I actually do want to mention one app really quick.
oh,
My
which one?
favorite one to go get filters is Snapchat. It's literally
Really?
the only reason I have Snapchat on my phone. They have some really silly and fun filters, really cool stuff that you can do. And so when you take your picture on Snapchat, instead of like sending it to someone, there's an option to download it.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know Snapchat still existed.
Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome. But so you're talking about you're kind of leading into the questions that I have. This is so cool
Oh,
because you mentioned
great.
filters and change the look. So talk to me about I've seen and I even done it myself. Talk to me about those images where it's just text, and it's like this bright color, right? Like green or yellow or you
Oh.
know stuff like that. Have you seen that, or what do you know about
I
that?
have, and we've used those in very specific campaigns before.
Hmm. Hmm.
We were doing a lot of Facebook page likes campaigns,
Hmm.
and those types of campaigns are really great to use just text. It's a bright yellow background with like one line of text, not too big.
Hmm.
And it would just say like, like this page if you agree, sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just a simple little, it would be a quote like "marketing always works," and then the headline would be, like this page if you agree, sort of thing. I've not used text only images
Okay. Okay.
for other Facebook campaigns.
Hmm.
That's definitely worth a try.
So yeah, because so I think and Bridget, what is it that you love? Because you said yes, love this one. We want to know what you love. But yeah, because what I've done is what I've seen is that, or what I've heard is that when people see that and they engage or connect with what you're writing on there, that they'll like it, more likely to press the button to like it or heart it or share it, right? So this is not an ad per se, right? This is just like an awareness, brand awareness kind of technique. But because you said filters, I'm thinking, yeah, this is good. This is actually something to do. So, all right. So now here's the next thing though. Now, what about this videos? I just happened to get a question yesterday. It's actually in the forum that I'm part of, that they were saying the 30 seconds or 15 seconds or a minute, they were kind of like, they've heard too many things, right? So what do you tell us about that? Like, what type of videos are good, and how long should they be?
Well, I don't think my answer is unexpected. I think there's a lot of testing that has to be done. And it depends where you're using this video. So if you're using this video for like awareness, content sort of thing, it can be 5, 10, 15 minutes long. You can test different lengths and just see how many people are engaging and moving through the next step of your funnel. If you're using it as a like a conversion ad where you want someone to actually click through and purchase something, I would make it kind of short. A lot of those like TikTok style videos are working really well with really compelling text. Those types of videos they're generally pretty short. And then when we're talking about using video in a retargeting ad, which I believe is one of the best places to use a video, is I believe, gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I feel like we use a script, a pretty like specific script with our clients, and ask them to record this video. And I feel like it's usually, we do one that's like a minute long and one that's 2 minutes long, and we test it, and we test different angles of like, all right, we're going to lean into the possibilities and the positive here, or we remind them, like agitate those fears and the pains in these retargeting ads as well. So there's a couple ways to do that. And different audiences resonate with different things, the fear versus the
right. Because so you just mentioned again, right? Not only understanding your audience, testing, right? Like usual, but so 1 to 2 minutes. And it's good to use it as retargeting. So those who have already seen something, those who are being engaging on something, that's a good approach. What about, do you want to use that video on Instagram? You know how all the times, as you're doing ads, it says what platforms, and it'll say Facebook will do it automatically and put it everywhere. But then when you come to the end, it says, oh, this doesn't fit this, the ratio is that, or whatever is too long. So what do you do about that? Like, what's a good approach?
So Ads Manager's been kind of funky lately. There are some accounts where we put it in and we let Facebook decide where it's going to distribute it. And then it lets us publish the ad. And if it doesn't fit, then it just doesn't distribute it there. Right.
Right.
And then Facebook's also going to say like, okay, I'll put a little bit of ad spend to have this show up in stories, but if it's not converting, then we're not going to put it in stories. Okay. So we let like Facebook decide there. There are some accounts though, that are a little bit funky. And for some reason, when we choose all placements and go to publish the ad and it doesn't meet the criteria for certain placements, it won't let us publish the ad until we update the creatives to either fit that, or we remove it at the ad set level of where we want the ad to show up. It's very interesting because they're all these accounts are behaving differently. But at that point, it's simply a choice of, is this something I want to show up in Instagram stories, or, in the Instagram news feed? Or there are some campaigns too, where we've set it up where the ads show up just on Instagram, and then we retarget them over on Facebook and bring them over. So it depends. So it depends on where you want to be most present. And it depends on, how much that matters to you. A lot of our clients, we talk about, like, do you think your ideal people are engaging on Instagram stories? I know we have one client, she's constantly doing stories. And so that's a place where we want to show up with our paid ads. We want our campaigns to show up in stories because she's got a presence there and people watch her.
Yeah. So. Wow. So, man, so the creative, the videos, the images, and I know we kind of took a little turn because this is part of those that creative stuff, and a lot of the times that we've seen is that I've heard and I've seen that having an image or having a video is much better than just copy. So how true is that, Jody? I mean, like when do people decide, oh yeah, maybe I should just do a whole bunch of videos or a whole bunch of images? And I know you're gonna say test, but when do you decide?
When do you decide? Well, I mean, we like to start with probably like 2 pieces of copy and like 3 to 4 images. And so you end up being able to create like 6 to 8 variations of ads and then let the data tell you.
Mhm,
And sometimes the
mhm.
videos do take longer. So we might be able to throw together some copy and some images and request ads from the client or videos from
Right.
the client. And then also we do some editing. And so we get the visuals
Mhm.
up that we have and then go from there, like add in other things and then request more videos and, then
Okay.
get them edited and put them up. And then, okay, we need more images and, letting the data kind of guide us like, oh, this
Sure.
audience responds to videos better. And this audience is doing great with photos. So we're just going to keep that. And, or let's just test it and see what happens. So
Yeah.
it's so much testing and just letting the
Yeah.
data guide you and tell you what your next step should be. It's just
Yeah.
constant of looking at the data.
Yeah. Do you think doing a video like a Facebook Live video and using that will be easier than trying to come up with a good video and then uploading it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think it can go either way. See, here's the
Yeah.
thing. The Facebook algorithm does favor live videos. And
Yeah.
that's why when we're talking about like our client attraction code, where we're putting in video content and written content, that the video content that we're using in there,
Mhm.
we really prefer that the client is going live. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this is kind of to set an example and a precedence. And like, this is how, like, this is working. And we're going live. Facebook's favoring that even more so when we put ad spend behind it. And so that's a great place for live video is when we're
Mhm.
doing content and building a warm audience. For the conversion ads and the retargeting ads, they don't need to be live. Those can be uploaded.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow, this is so cool. Well, here is the thing then, and this is something that you mentioned at the beginning in regards to selfies, right? So, when you do selfies, are you talking about, having your product show up with yourself, or is it just like a personal message, or you
With
know
the
what I'm talking about?
selfies, well, so less, I guess, less than just calling it a selfie, those organic images, like a lot of times seeing photos of like me with my kids or something, like if you're comfortable with that, obviously
Yeah.
some people aren't comfortable putting that on social media,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
or like you out with your friends or like on a cruise or, just like everyday life sort of cruises aren't everyday life, especially not right now, but like
Wait a minute.
everyday life sort of photos,
Mhm.
I guess is a better description than saying selfies. So everyday
Oh,
life sort of photos are going to
okay.
have been performing a lot better than like the professional. Like I love a good photo shoot. I love a photo shoot,
Yeah.
but those ads just aren't what are performing really well across multiple accounts. So
Yeah, I've seen that. It catches my attention a lot of times. And so I've seen images where it has nothing to do with what I'm about to read,
mm.
but it's so catchy, right?
Yeah, you know what? When in our sold out masterminds funnel, which we
Yeah.
aren't running anymore, one of our best performing ads was it was not even a good picture, like it was kind of dark. Was a picture of Amanda in labor pushing. Like you could tell she was in the hospital. Yes, I
Oh
kid you
my
not.
goodness.
And it was what was the hook? It was something about something is harder than labor. And like, I don't remember what it was. Something is hard, selling high ticket, filling your mastermind, something like that is harder than giving birth or something like that.
Oh
And
man.
yeah, so then the whole copy was like tying that in. So it did have to, like, you're like, what does this have to do with marketing when you see it? But it tied it in. So
talking about everyday life.
right. And then there was a picture of Amanda and I on a cruise.
Bridget says, wow.
We were on
Yeah,
a
I
cruise
know.
and we got to hold sloths. And so, like, think about how your everyday photos can tie into your messaging. So that tied in by saying, sometimes it feels like it takes forever to fill your mastermind, right? Because sloths move so slow.
Yeah.
So we took that and weaved it in. And actually, we did one too. And this was kind of funny. It was one of those ones that got a lot of engagement because they thought we were crazy. It was us holding the sloth, and we said, "Stop monkeying around." And they're like, "That's not a monkey, that's a sloth." And we knew that, but we just wanted to test that messaging with that image, and it got so much engagement that it just made it show up more in the news feed, right? Like,
Wow, that is so cool. That is awesome.
yeah.
See that, I appreciate you sharing that because a lot of times I will have to say I've seen this, and even myself, it's almost like I need to pretend like, I'm doing something, or, and it's just everyday life. And it just so happened, right? It just so happened. And, that's funny. I was going to ask you to tell that story because I couldn't remember something about monkeying around. And sure enough.
Yeah, because you're like, what does that have to do? Like, what does that
Yes.
picture have to do with selling out a mastermind?
Yes. Yes.
And really, you can tie it in. Of course, that one wasn't a monkey, but it was done on purpose. So
I love it. I love it. Now, this is good stuff. So, as you all can hear, creativity does not mean that you have to be a professional. What it means is that you have to be willing to be yourself, be open, and if you feel comfortable showing up as who you are, like in labor.
I know I think that's why I need a photographer for when this baby comes. Like,
Oh my
gotta
goodness. No,
capture
no,
some
no, no, no,
Facebook
no.
ad images.
Oh man, that will be crazy. But yeah, that's what it takes, right? It takes just going out there, and of course, like the main ingredient is testing here, right? It's all about testing what works, what doesn't. Images are great. Selfies, or as we call it now, your daily life pictures or images, awesome. Videos are great for retargeting. And other than that, I mean, seriously, this is how you get people to stop the scroll and watch labor's pains. This is not, you know what? I got that image in my head now. I don't even show me the image. But yeah, interesting. Awesome. Okay. So let's move on. And any final words, Jody, for people to get some eyeballs on their ads?
I think just obviously be willing to test and try different things and see what works. Try the organic images, try the the stock photos, try all of that. It's all worth testing.
Sure.
And especially if the data is showing like, okay, this isn't working. Okay, then try something else.
Yeah.
So, and we know what data we need to look at, right? Because we can go back and watch last week's episodes and
That's
see
right.
points to needing an update or a refresh with your visual creatives.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jody. That was fun. Love it. No labor here. No labor there.
Not yet.
More images,
Not
please. Yet. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Please be back Friday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. Pacific, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, until further notice. And we mean that. We will be back with being nerdy and just talking about marketing and sales and all that good stuff. So until then, have a great day. Thank you so much. And peace.